Alright guys, that's me just about ready to get going. Finally things are getting changed up. Time for me to stretch my wings and fly. Okay, well it's just you guys here. I think what we can do is probably get a character created.
Oh,
Shh,
yeah.
there's plot points coming.
Pale. Well, you've come to the right place. Yharnam is the home of blood ministration. You need only unravel its mystery. But where's an outsider like yourself to begin? Easy, with a bit of Yharnam blood of your own. But first, you'll need a contract.
Alright, and I'm pretty sure somebody wanted this character to look like them, so... In fact, I'll let you guys choose. What are we going for? Let's do it. YouTube plays Bloodborne. Do you want male or female? 1-1 for male, 2-2 for female. Sniper Fat 6. Wow, Mr. T, them's triggering words, them. Y'all voting male? Oh, okay then. I'll just get that sorted. Basically choose military veteran because it's the best balance of stats for this weapon that I'll be going to chase down. It's mostly a strength build weapon, so that sorts us out for that. Now, I don't know which one of these is less flattering. Would you rather be called mature, or would you rather be called aged? I mean, aged sounds like you're talking about cheese. Oh, you mean Bob's. I see the mistake there. That's an easy mistake to make. Now, this must be a FromSoft thing, but the options you get here for build is not that great. I mean, they think that guy looks very burly. He looks like he weighs about 10 stone. Or 140 pounds or something for you Americans. Let's just go with the big head. That's not a reflection on me or anything thinking anything. Oh, this will be a fun part to play in the stream. What race are we looking at? What skin colour? Bearing in mind I'll be terribly judgmental if you pick the incorrect one. And there is an incorrect one. Alright, I think we're maybe looking at this dude here. I mean, that is pretty dark. He wouldn't look out of place in RE5. Can we get darker though? That's what I want to know. Right, the colour's fine, but I'm not really digging this haircut. Yeah, this is Chris Redfield. It's just Chris Redfield after he's been in Africa for several decades. I mean, I think we've did okay there. Let's just change this ridiculous slicked back haircut he's got though. That's not going for me here. In fact, I know. This is exactly what this dude needs. The beard. Do we go beard or do we go mutton chops? I'm sorry, but I think I'm digging the mutton chops. Oh yeah, we're going for the hipster haircut, and the beard, we're not going for the mutton chops. Oh man, that's a bit too lumberjacky. I don't know, I'm getting this kind of Prince of Persia vibe now. This could maybe work. I'm sorry, but this ponytail's epic. The ponytail has to stay. Oh, do you know what? I'm bored and confused already. Should we just start? Let's get this going. This'll do. Right, let me a minute. Let's give him some creepy ass eyes before we start. Yeah, screw it, that'll do. And then a nice set of hipster glasses to set it off. Oh, a pair of Morpheus shades. Okay, I've not messed with any of that stuff, so I'm assuming loads of crap's going to go wrong with the chat. That's something I'll need to look at. That's great, man. Let's get this dude going. Ah, the most important part of any run. The name. What's his name going to be, guys? I'll leave that in your capable hands. Of course. Right, god damn it, let's get this going. I'll try and cover most of the kind of story stuff as it comes up, and we'll watch some of the cutscenes, but if it starts to slow down then we can change up and I can just skip them. Oh Kat, while you're here, how do I sort out the restrictive filter on the chat so people aren't being timed out like that?
All signed and sealed. Now, let's begin the transfusion. Oh, don't you worry. Whatever happens, you may think it all a mere bad dream.
You found yourself a hunter.
Okay, I'll try and fart about with the filter settings in a second. So it's something to do with the spam protection. It's set by default. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'll see if I can sort this so you're not running into any grief. It says all comments are allowed, and I can't really see anybody else to change it at the moment. Yeah, we'll get round to fixing it at some point, guys, don't worry. Just behave. Oh god, that's kinda creepy. Looks like he's not got a face. If you want a little bit of backstory as to how this game starts and who you are as a character in it, you're basically someone who's travelled from a far off land to the city of Yarnum, as you've heard that they have this special blood that can cure any and all ailments, you yourself having an incurable disease. So you've travelled here for blood administration to see if it can help cure you. And that is when you start having these visions and nightmares and things go a bit tits up. Oh god, he normally doesn't come in here. Excuse me. Yeah, at the start of the game here you can either die to that douche, or you can come up to the lantern up here. And it's kind of confusing the start of this game. A lot of From Software games do this, where normally you have some rite of passage at the start where you either die or you can proceed a different way. But it's confusing as hell for first time players if they don't know what's going on, and they end up running through a lot of the game with, like, or half the start of the game with 0 weapons. Oh, am I not allowed to stream on YouTube gaming? Fine, I'll just take all my followers and go to Beam. Whatever the hell that is. So if you've played like a Souls game before, you kind of recognise this area as your sort of nexus, your Firelink Shrine, stuff like that. And here you've got this totally not creepy doll just sitting here. Get to have fun with that later. So, as I said at the start here, this is going to be like a meme run of the game. Basically I'm going to try and get a weapon that you guys voted for as quickly as possible, and then go through the rest of the game with it. But that means actually getting the weapon, which is in the DLC area, which means I need to go through a couple of bosses first off. So we're just going to take the Saw Cleaver, and it's the best kind of starting weapon for the game. And it makes a lot easier. And the pistol again, just for simple parrying. Oh damn it, I forgot to do the guy's toenails in the character selection. Oh well then, restart. And this here is our good old friend German.
Aha! You must be the new hunter. Welcome to the hunter's dream. This will be your home for now. I am Gehrman, friend to you hunters. You're sure to be in a fine haze about now, but don't think too hard about all of this. Just go out and kill a few beasts. It's for your own good. You know, it's just what hunters do. You'll get used to it.
Yeah, so German's kind of, you know, your old wizened sage who sort of tries to lead you through the game, tells you where to go and things like that, what to do. But here we go, this is when things take a kind of creepy turn.
This was once a safe haven for hunters. A workshop where hunters used blood to enhance their weapons and flesh. We don't have as many tools as we once did, but you're welcome to use whatever you find. Even the dog, should it please you.
That's cute, German, thanks for that. I can use your creepy ass doll out there if it would please me. That probably got Casey to sit up and take attention there. Even the sex doll, if it would please you. Okay then. Right, so we've talked about that. There's not really anything else to do here at the moment. Like, you'll notice the little doll here, she's your sort of NPC that helps you level up and stuff, but you can't actually do anything yet because you need a certain item from the game that you get from visiting boss areas called Insight. You see the little eye thing up the top right hand corner. So once you get one insight, you can come back here and she'll be alive and kicking. Oh god, right, so who in here in chat's actually played this before? They might have a small idea of what I'm talking about. Anyone?
Are you out on the hunt? Then I'm very sorry, but I cannot open this door. I am Yosefka. The patients here in my clinic must not be exposed to infection. I know that you hunt for us, for our town, but I'm sorry. Please. This is all that I can do. Now, go.
Yeah, you'll find a creepy thing that happens in this game is people are really willing to part with their blood just to give you it.
Are you still in need of something? But I have nothing more to offer. Please, try to understand my position. I can only...
Oh, right, okay, that is... I can't say it in my British-Scottish accent. Her name's Yosefka. She runs like a little free clinic here to help people who are inflicted with this. I would end up spending like no time moving and all the time talking if I tried to explain everything that's going on, but suffice that you can see, that a lot of shit has went down here. The town, who are out participating on hunts for beasts, are beginning to catch the beasthood themselves, and you can see the townspeople are turning into sort of like half-hybrid monsters. And it basically all boils down to a discovery that was made by a group of scholars who found this substance called the Old Blood, and that sort of starts off the whole proceedings of this game. It's really deep and really probably boring to a lot of people, so I probably won't go into it too much. But yeah, shit's going down, and it's going down bad. Starting area my first few times I played this game, and it was an absolute nightmare. But there is actually a lot of like kind of little shortcuts in that aren't immediately noticeable to you. Just backstab, easy kills. Yeah, a big difference between Bloodborne and Dark Souls as well, as you can see, is it's a bit of a button masher. Like that guy taking about 15% of my health off, but whenever you're hitting this game you have maybe a small window of like 3 seconds to get your health back by returning hits to somebody. So you'll notice when you take hits the bar kind of goes orangey before it goes completely away, and as long as you're hitting someone within that time period you can get some health back. what are we talking about here? Is this Casey going on about a vampire fetish? Ouch. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Quite a serious hard mechanic. A lot of problems that people run into this game and comparing it to like a Souls game is you need to be super aggressive in this game compared to a Souls game. You can't really just kind of wait out enemies' attacks and then attack them. You kind of just need to get in people's faces. Oh my god, yep, most OP enemy in the game. Again, now normally I'd need to slog mass all the way up there to the right and round, but there's another little shortcut around here that helps me just skip most of that till I need to go back there later. Is there something like that? Nope. Yeah, these little assholes will jump out their cages later if you don't kill them just now. Can you do that? Kind of concerning how they only seem to have one breed of dog in this place. That seems quite elitist. I think there's some sort of shady dog grooming ring going on in this place. The MLG dodge.
You're a hunter, aren't you? Then, well, do you know of any safe places? I've heard I have. Shutting up indoors isn't always enough. Well, if you want, you're obligated to help me, you hear? So what'll it be? Are you going to tell me you're not? Good for nothing. No respect for the elderly is what that is.
Ah, that is kind of true, Casey. That's kind of Javi, I suppose.
Go on, admit it. You think we're all mad, don't you? Well, go and stop it. I know all your tricks.
Yeah, these little red lantern things actually are giving out incense which wards off all the beasts and monsters and traps. So normally when you see these there is an NPC note close by that you can speak to. This old biddy that's in here wants our help but she just doesn't have any respect for us youngins, so we've got nowhere to send her just yet, but we can come back and help her out in a bit. Right, that's something I can leave up to you guys as well. Should we save the old biddy later or do we just leave her? I didn't go speak to the super swag hunter that's up here. I mean, if you think I've got a bad accent, wait till you hear this old woman's accent up here. And that is some fine armpit here. I don't know why I bothered cutting these down, so I don't even think I'm going to get them. One of them is a weapon that you can use at the start of the game. It's just basically the same weapon as I've got just now, only it's a spear it turns into rather than a cleaver. But yeah, check out this woman's accent, man, it is like crazy. Just listen to how she says hunter.
Oh, a hunter, are you? And an outsider? What a mess you've been caught up in. And tonight of all nights. Here, to welcome the new hunter. Prepare yourself for the worst. There are no humans left. They're all flesh-hungry beasts now. Still lingering about. What's wrong? A hunter unnerved by a few beasts? No matter. Without fear in our hearts, we're little different from the beasts themselves.
Nice, now we've got a swag. Emote we can use for when we don't eventually fuck up the bosses and actually manage to kill them. Oh shit. Let me just check a minute. That's the other side that's got the... That's the item over there. Yeah, it's a piece of crap anyway, so... Don't need to worry about it. I think there is actually an item we need over here. Oh, this did drop something as well. Yeah, there is nothing more annoying than these douches when they look far away from you and they just keep sniping you. basically doing is trying to get as much free shit as I can in this area, so it makes the first couple of bosses a little bit easier and gives me enough upgrade stuff so when we do get the beast cleaver in this cutter, we can just level up in decent state. Yeah, we need to deal with Babe. Pig in the city. The best way to do it is to get to come on, Babe. What's the name of the pig in Charlotte's Wedding? Come on, babe. Bacon sandwiches all done. I'm nearly ready to go take on the first boss. And I will probably have to heavy sweat this boss because I've said this before, that the bosses at the start of the game I get really complacent with. And I've not really bothered to learn the patterns and stuff, so sometimes I do make a massive ass of it. I'm really big in this up, man. I'm just everything hanging. It's nice. Oh god. Oh, I've done not parry him. Come on, me. Oh man, this is bad. We should not. Oh, there we go. Oh man, are you coming down as well? Right, come on. They don't normally come down these days. What sort of hamster do you have? A big skinless, snouty hamster. I mean, a really big plus point of this game is its level design. You'll see just now when I come up here. The whole city actually loops back in itself, so you're never too screwed, and no matter where you are in the city you can normally get everywhere else. Which is good to see if we open up this game. You'll see I'm right back at the beginning. And again, there's one of these little red lantern dudes here. You can speak to him a couple of times and you'll get a weapon off him after I've killed the first boss, or the second boss.
And not one from around here either. I'm Gilbert, a fellow outsider. You must have had a fine time of it. Yarnum has a special way of treating guests. Well, I don't think I could stand if I wanted to, but I'm willing to help if there's anything that can be done. This town is cursed. Whatever your reasons might be, you should plan a swift exit. Whatever can be gained from this place, it will do more harm than good.
Yeah, so this guy is someone else like yourself who's got an incurable disease, and he heard in Yarnum they have this special blood that can treat any and all illnesses. Doesn't sound like it's doing much good for him.
Pale blood, you say? Never heard of it. But if it's blood you're interested in, you should try the Healing Church. The Church controls all knowledge on blood ministration and all varieties of blood. Across the valley to the east of Yarnham lies the town of the Healing Church, known as the Cathedral Ward. And deep within Cathedral Ward is the old Grand Cathedral, the birthplace of the Healing Church's special blood, or so they say. Yarnamites don't share much with outsiders. Normally they wouldn't let you near the place, but the hunt is on tonight. This might be your chance. Across the valley to the east of Yadip, I have that's your...
There's something about this guy's cough. He sounds like one of those hypochondriacs that put on those heavy fake coughs. Anyway, now we've got this a little bit open, we can now go on to the first boss, which is going to be super fun times for me. This guy is a bit of a trial of fire for a lot of new players. He's actually an optional boss, you don't need to fight this guy at all to begin with. But it gives you access to like some weapons and that are really good starting weapons. And it gives you another lantern to warp to him from. I might check if I have any... Nope, I don't. God damn it. I must have missed this somewhere along the way. Normally this up-and-coming boss is, again, kinda meant to kill you, because once you walk into this boss area you'll end up getting what should be the first insight you earn in the game. And insight is what will make the little abandoned doll come to life so you can see them and speak to them, level up and stuff. But here we go, let's see how this plays out. Let's complete this up. First party in his face. And then you want to just hug his booty. The closer you stay to this guy, the better it is for you, because he's got really kind of strange movements to get far away from him. So you'll see that kind of weird bit of order up here, but that's not really in space, which means it's not kind of far in it. Doing what it does best, and like to get see Jess. Jess can keep you up to date with what's going on. She kinda knows what's happening. Yeah, I mean, a bit of backstory on that guy is, as I mentioned earlier, the Bergenwar scholars, as a full group, discovered this old blood, but after researching it, they actually split into two separate factions. One faction remained at Bergenworth and thought the way to truly ascend humanity was through insight, through knowledge, but the other group, which became the Healing Church, the ones with the old blood, thought the way to ascend humanity was through using the blood ministration to the populace and using the blood for the power it had. And what you just saw there was one of the high-ranking members of said church, who you can clearly see their plan didn't work out quite as they thought, because everybody's turned into fucking crazy ass werewolf-looking creatures, and the higher members of the clergy of the church evolved and turned into these cleric beasts. Turn down the game volume, right, cool. I actually meant to do that earlier, so I'll see if I can do it from... I might need to do it from the PS4 actually. Yeah, I can try and adjust the volume if you want, guys, but I don't know if it'll just end up making me quieter as well. Give me a little second and I'll see if it works or not. Yeah, screw farting about with that. I can't really see anywhere to do it just now, so we'll fix it for another time. It's all good. Oh, and look, now that we're back here now, we can see that our waifu showed up. Grab this thing first. Okay, see, if you're still here, this item here, after you get the little doll to wake up, this item beside it here's what you need to do co-op, I think. So I think you get all the stuff you need once you've at least met the boss, even if the boss kills you. If you come back here, you'll probably find this item. But here we go, the totally not creepy sex doll that German was talking about.
Hello, good hunter. I am a doll, here in this dream to look after you. Honorable hunter, pursue the echoes of blood, and I will channel them into your strength. You will hunt beasts, and I will be here for you to embolden your sickly spirit.
Okay, and like, if you've played any other Souls games, you'll know this. This NPC here, the living doll, basically acts as your level up. It's kind of different from Dark Souls 1, where you can level up anywhere you want, and I think it's more similar to like Dark Souls 2 Dark Souls 3 and Demon's Souls. You basically need to come back here and you use your blood echoes. Now they're not souls, remember, they're blood echoes. Basically anywhere you'd see the name soul, just put blood in instead.
Very well, let me step.
So to be honest, we've got the strength requirements and all that for the weapons we need, and even for the weapon that we'll get in the DLC, so it's best just now just to bump the vitality up as much as we can and some endurance. And now from this point on, what we need to do is get 10,000 echoes so we can buy a special key that helps bump along the game. Yeah, the turret part is super annoying, Cat. There's one or two ways you can kind of get about it. You'll be able to see once I get there. There's a couple of ways you can handle it.
Farewell, good hunter. May you find your worth in the waking world.
Yeah, before we leave her, there's actually quite a lot of lore tied to her and Gehrman. As you already heard, that Gehrman created this workshop and everything in it, including this, creepy doll. But the doll was actually based off of Gehrman's best student that he had, and he obviously had a bit of a obsession with her maybe. So he created this doll in her perfect image, and you'll actually see her later on in the DLC if we get that far tonight. You'll notice Gehrman disappears every now and again. There is occasions, I can't remember exactly when, but you can come down this little side passage here. In fact, he's here just now. There we go. You can come and speak to him while he's sleeping and he's dreaming. And you learn a lot sort of his story as well. But just now he just doesn't seem to be talking. I mean, out of all the Souls games, I find his story really quite tragic as well, but I don't know, there's something just about Bloodborne's lore and the way it's presented I kind of prefer a little bit more to Dark Souls. But I mean, Dark Souls is still a very, very close second for me. But yeah, we've did everything we need to do here, and now we're going to fight what would be technically the first kind of mandatory boss. It's kind of a weird thing about Bloodborne. There is actually only, I think there's 7 mandatory bosses that you need to fight. Now the base game itself has, I think, close to 20 bosses or something, but to actually beat the game you only need to beat 7 of them, which is kind of good because it lets you explore and then do the game as you kind of want without having to make you trawl through everything that's in the game. But then again, if people are doing blind playthroughs of this game, they'll have definitely missed out some stuff their first time through. I mean, I know I did. Alright, yeah, there's one more thing we need to do before we go on to the next boss actually. Right, we need to deal with these dishes again. I mean, it may look as if I'm making that look easy, but the enemies at the beginning of the game are really, they give really, really generous parry windows for when you can hit them. Right, where is it I need to go? Alright, I remember. We're going to do another little kind of mini NPC side quest here. And again, it's really sad and depressing as pretty much they all are in this game. We're going to go see a little girl who's wanting you to help her find her mother who's gone missing. Her mother went out looking for her father, who was out on the hunt, hunting beasts, but he didn't come back. So she left to go find him, but unfortunately the mother forgot to take Gary's father's favourite music box with her. Upon hearing the music box, it always calmed the father down from the frenzy of hunting the beasts, and as you'll kind of learn as you go further on in this game, people slowly and more slowly lose their minds. The more they've been out hunting, the more they've consumed the old blood. you know, to fuel them to be able to hunt. And the little music box the girl gives you helps calm the father and reminds him of his family. But unfortunately, when the mother went out looking for him this time, she didn't take the box with her. Now, these bushes here can absolutely rip you to shreds. Two or three and hit you with it. There is a lot of spammy nonsense in this game. That consumable I just picked up there, the Madman's Knowledge, that'll grant you 1 insight if you go into your menu and pop it. And that's one way you can get the little doll to come to life before you actually meet any of the bosses. You can do that there, and pop that, then go back to the Hunter's Dream, and she'll be alive. I always wondered what some of these dudes are doing when they're just like randomly saying whatever. Some of the guys are obviously patrolling about, and some of them still have their sanity where they think they're hunting beasts and they mistake you for a beast. But it's actually because they've went half mad and they're actually turning into a beast themselves. So again, this is another shortcut that you can open up. And it loops back to that main big large road where I kind of dodged a lot of the dudes and didn't bother fighting them. And again, there's probably an NPC character nearby you can speak to, and this is pretty damn sad, so here we go.
Who are you? I don't know your voice, but I know that smell. Are you a hunter? And please go look for my mum. Daddy never came back from the hunt, and she went to find him, but now she's gone too. I'm all alone and scared. Thank you. My mum wears a red jeweled brooch. It's so big and beautiful. You won't miss it. Oh, I mustn't forget. If you find my mum, give her this music box. It plays one of Daddy's favourite songs. And when Daddy forgets us, we play it for him so he remembers. Mum's so silly running off without it. My mum wears a red jeweled brooch. It's so big and beautiful. You won't miss it. Oh, and if you find her, give her this music box. Please, I know you can do it.
Okay, so that was a lot of specific information we got there. Can you find my mum? She wears a large red jeweled brooch. So you can kind of guess where this is going to be going. While we're doing this, we'll get some stuff ready for the fight. So as you can see, you've been given quite a lot of information about certain characters that you are going to come up against, and the little girl actually gives you some advice for actually dealing with one of them, if you obviously were paying attention to what she was saying. So she's giving you the music box that you know helps calm her father when he starts to, you know, lose control. So now we've got that in tow, we can go to the again, this boss that's coming up is it's a kind of semi-tutorial boss. It's to get you used to the concept of fighting other hunters as such, and it's kind of trying to learn you that you can't play the game very passively. You need to get in their face, you need to try and be aggressive towards them, you know, in order to win. So it really does differ from Dark Souls. Yeah, and in this game you abuse iframes to make critical kills. So you have to die and it is right back. Oh my god, that sounds reaching. notice there again that I did that mechanic where I recovered a lot of my health I lost just by spamming the button to try and kill him as quickly as I could. So yeah, this is sort of your first encounter with like another hunter. And it can go one or two ways. I'm going to use a little mechanic here. It's a little trick if you were paying attention to what the girl said about the quest kind of you were given. This is one way to help get some free damage into the guy to start off with.
Beasts all over the shop. You'll be one of them, sooner or later.
So here we go, what we need to do is hold back a bit more to that coming. Bait and attack. It's actually really not a good idea to fight because of the trap that's in there. So there you see I used the music box, it stuns him for a second. You can get in behind him and get this attack.
What's that smell? The sweet blood.
Okay, what I'm going to do now is after I've gotten down a bit this here, I'm going to just pull my top up here. So it's so much easier to fight after the enemy can get in. So yeah, I mean this boss can be really hard for new players. The best way to do it is, like I said, go and get that little music box, because it does let you stun him. You can stun him up to 3 times, but if you do it on the 3rd time, he'll actually transform into beast mode a lot sooner. So what you're better doing is getting the 2 parries in, use the box twice, then try and get a free couple of hits in, lead them up the stairs, and that's when you want to use your oil urns and your Molotov cocktails on him, because that will really chunk his health until he's down low, and then you can just try and either Molotov him to death or get a parry on the beast. The beast can do crazy damage, but if you get 1 parry on him, 9 times out of 10 he'll be dead. And here's where the feels come in. You can see here that I just picked up an item called the Red Jeweled Brooch. Obviously Gascoigne went completely crazy, and the wife left the house without the music box, so she couldn't bring him back to sanity, and he's killed her and just lobbed her off the roof up there. Much sadness. So yeah, it's little things like that, like if you've played a Bloodborne game, or not a Bloodborne, if you've played a Souls game before, you know there's so much going on in them that sometimes you can just miss because you've maybe not spoke to an NPC, or you've maybe missed an item description or something. But you know, the lore in these games is crazy deep, it's just really searching for it. So we'll go and deliver the bad news to the little girl shortly. In fact, I'll leave it up to you guys, because we can either give the brooch back to the little girl and let her know that her mother's died, or we can come up here to this safe haven and let the little girl know that there's somewhere safe that she can go to. So that's the two options we've got. So come on, let's get some chat interaction. I want to actually speak to you guys. I want you to feel like you're here with me. Go 1-1 for giving the brooch to the girl and telling her her mother's died, or 2-2 for sending the girl to the safe haven. Come on, I've got a whole 11 viewers. I need to do the 1-1, 2-2 thing so I can differentiate. I can't have these little small ones. Okay, so this area kinda works like a second little hub area. You can't do any leveling up or anything like that, but this area is where you can send sort of NPCs to, you know, so they're safe, you know, from the beasts, because like if we speak to this little dude just now, you'll find out why. Because this guy looks completely, you know, as if he's on top of things and could protect you.
Oh, you must be a hunter. Very sorry. The incense must have masked your scent. Good, good. I've been waiting for one of your ilk. These hunts have everyone all locked up inside, waiting for it to end. It always does, always has, you know, since forever. But it won't end nicely, not this time. Even some folks hiding inside are going bad. The screams of women folk, the stench of blood, the snarls of beasts, none of them's too uncommon now. Yarnum's done for, tell ya. But if you spot anyone with their wits about them, tell them about this here Erden chapel. They'll be safe here. The incense wards off the beasts. Spread the word. Tell them to come on over, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I know, I'm wondering, does this guy got legs? Or is he just like half a body? I don't know, man, it's sad. He's like a little div kid at school who just wants to be pals. But yeah, he looks like an absolute mong, so nobody wants to hang about with him. Super sad times. Right, so what we can do first here before we do anything is we can try and swag ourselves up a little bit. We can get some decent gear out here. Again, these dishes are just as bad with the parry mechanics. You just go in, wait for a swing. Now, and this is where the game starts taking its lore a little bit too seriously. You'll see what I mean in a second. There is a bit of night description that kind of points you in the right direction, but this is the entrance to the DLC, believe it or not. Now, I won't be able to do it long, so I've not got the item yet, but basically, you stand here, see that thing that just appeared there? That's the entrance to the DLC. Just standing in that random area. So now we've got a spiffy top hat. Looking a bit more dapper. Oh, look at the ponytail. Ponytail's clutch. Oh, wait a minute, I need to see this up closer. Let's see. Man, that is... Man, why can't I have a beard like that? So now we've sort of dappered ourselves up a bit. The main aim of what I'm trying to do now is basically get and 10,000 blood echoes. We get 10,000 blood echoes, we can open up a sort of shortcut gate, and it helps progress a few plot points as well. Oh my god, that was the worst parry ever. What I was basically doing, I forgot what the hell I was doing there. I'm just going to go and kill these two guys again just for extra blood echoes, because I'll need to warp back to a couple of places. Oh god. You going to attack, bro? Yep. Man, them iframes. So good. Yeah, and if you still want to cosplay or fantasise you're playing Dark Souls, you get a shield here. It's a wooden crappy shield, it's got like 50% damage absorption, it is absolutely pointless, but yeah, I think they put it in there just to calm the people that would have a stroke if they thought they could have a shield and kind of sword playing this. Before we go back, like I said, since we're trying to get some souls, I'll go and get the other lantern just now. The most OP enemy in the game. Broken ass dogs. If you've played Dark Souls 3 you'll know what these dogs are like, just by the way they move. Crazy teleport mechanics, they can just smash through your attacks and they're just such a pain in the ass, it's annoying. Yeah, you'll find with the saw cleaver as well that there's really not many uses to actually transform it into a cleaver when you're just fighting through regular enemies. When you're fighting bosses, normally to get the maximum damage output you can with your stamina available, you're better just going 1, 2 and then transform attack. That'll get you the most damage you can get. Right, these douchebags up here I'm probably just going to run past. Yep, they are super annoying. God damn it. You might have a bit like the guys from Resident Evil that sound like they've got little wooden wheelchair legs. Just after me saying there's no use of the cleaver, I use the cleaver. Come on. See, even then he still managed to get a hit into me. So this dude down here, this guy is kinda like your son, bro, of this game.
You're a beast hunter, aren't you?
Except he's batshit crazy.
That's precisely how I started out. Oh, beg pardon. You may call me Alfred, protege of Master Ligarius, hunter of vile bloods. So, what say you? Our prey might differ, but we are hunters, the both of us. Why not cooperate and discuss the things we've learned?
So yeah, you want to cooperate with this guy, it'll progress a storyline, and I'll try and get through his sub-quest as well, because he sounds like quite a happy-go-lucky guy, you know? Kind of praise the sun, praise the old blood or the good blood, something like that, but things take quite a creepy turn later.
Very good. Very good indeed. Take this to celebrate our acquaintance. Beast hunting.
So So yeah, that fire paper that he gave me is basically the same as like the, what's it called in Dark Souls again? The charcoal pine resin and stuff like that. So yeah, it basically means you can imbue your weapon with fire for a little while. Which again, fire works really good against any beasts. Angelo, there's no any real reason you should refuse him, it just means you won't really be able to progress his storyline as such. He's kinda there just to give you information and stuff on, you know, the different sort of factions and that you're dealing with. Now another kind of strange hidden mechanic in this game that a lot of people I don't even think they're even aware of it, is your insight meter. Once your insight meter hits about 15 or 20 insight, I think it is, some of the enemies actually gain new abilities, and sometimes they can become a little more difficult to defeat. If you get over 40 insight before a certain point in the game, that big invisible thing that was trying to grab me earlier on, you'll be able to actually see what that thing is before you're actually supposed to see what it is in the story progression. So the insight is a practical thing in the game as well, but it's got quite heavy lore implications as well. Again, I would be talking forever about it if I tried to. The werewolves look really imposing in this, but they're kind of like the slowest and most ridiculous attacks. Can get some free loot off them though, at least. Yeah, Mr. T, I'll need to look into that the next time before I actually start. I tried to check it earlier on, but I couldn't see anything and I just got bored. So shush. So again, I'm just collecting some stuff down here so that we can get through this area quicker later on. This area is where Kat was talking about with the Gatling gun dude. It's got quite a lot of lore implications, this area as well. You can see this is the older part of the town, the original part of the town, and basically it's been sealed off and it was burned to the ground, and the only thing that's left here really is beasts. There's no humans or half beasts here.
Hunter! Didn't you see it? Turn back at once. Old Yarnum, burned and abandoned by men, is now home only to beasts. They are of no harm to those above. Turn back, or the hunter will face the hunt.
Yeah, I just get heavy murked by that little stupid thing. Those things are like crystal lizards for Dark Souls, and they drop you, upgrade materials, but instead of jumping off the ledge, I decided to just turn back and run the other way, which has just screwed me over. So we'll need to get out later, but it's not a big deal. Okay, see you later, Mr. T, if that's you off to school. We'll catch you later. Right, so yeah, the Gatling gun hunter dude is basically a hunter who was in your position long ago, who has now decided he's basically jaded of the whole beast hunting thing, and he's came to realise that beasts themselves are actually, they're former people. They can't help being what they are, and they can't help doing what they're doing. So he kinda protects this area from other hunters and just lets the beasts, get on with their own thing, sort of live in their natural habitat, you could say. So yeah, Old Yarnum's basically like a big beast reserve, where he tries to just preserve letting the beasts go about their business without MD fucking them up. So now we're back here. Hopefully if I pop all this stuff, I should have enough to buy the item I need. Again, those items I'm popping, basically just soul packets from Dark Souls. Like I said, everything that you have that had souls in it in Dark Souls, you just replace it with blood in this and you've got the same principle. So the item we're after here is this thing here. It basically opens one of the sort of shortcuts to the main area where the next boss is we need to beat, and actually the next boss we need to beat is a pain in the ass, but once we beat it, it gives us access into the DLC, which means I can then go and get the weapon that we're going to use for the rest of the run. So we're finally getting places now.
Well, what is it? Very well, let me start.
See if we can squeeze one more. Okay, fight this.
Farewell, good hunter.
You can see old man German's back, so let's see what he's got to say before we leave.
The moon is close. It will be a long hunt tonight. If the beasts loom large and threaten to crush your spirits, seek a holy chalice, as every hunter before you has. A holy chalice will reveal the tomb of the gods, where hunters partake in communion. Most of the holy chalices lie deep within the tomb of the gods, and the few that found their way to the surface were lost again in the hands of men. But if the old hunter tales remain true, one, yet the tale...
Oh, he's just saying the same thing he said. Yeah, basically he's talking about a completely optional part of the game there is the Chalice dungeons. It's kinda similar to how Diablo 3 generates random dungeons every time you enter them, and you go through it and then you fight a boss at the end. And it's a good place to like farm for these blood gems that we're going to be using here. They basically help upgrade your weapon in like a small way. Oh, wait a minute, I need to fortify my weapon first. So that should give us enough to be able to beat this boss. Right, so now we've got all that kind of crap out the way, we're going to go through with some story stuff now and go and see the little girl that I was talking about. So what we need to do first is we go all the way back to the very beginning. And this is where the game, again, a lot of this stuff is just will go completely over the head of somebody that's playing this for the first time. Even the second time is... It's a good thing about these types of games, but it's also quite a sad thing because people miss so much. You know what the game has to offer. So back at the Septic's clinic, this is the very place where you came to get treated for whatever illness we had. And if you remember, I spoke to her again at the start, and what she told us then is quite important, because at the start of the game she said, look, I know you're a hunter and I respect that, but I can't let you in. I need to keep the, you know, the scourge of the beast blood out at all costs. And then she gave us some of her blood just as a little, you know, perk to go and get on with the hunt. But now if you listen to what she says now...
Oh, well, hello. Splendid. Let me ask you a small kindness. You're soon off to hunt, I presume? Then, if you find any survivors, tell them to seek Yusefka's clinic. Upon my Hippocratic oath, if they are yet human, I will look after them. Perhaps even cure them. This sickness, these beasts, they are not to be feared. This time the night is long. I may be trapped here, but I should do something to help. I'll even offer a reward for your cooperation. Tempted? Well, off you go then. If you find anyone who's still human, send them straight to Yusefka's clinic. You can assure them there's no place safer. Please, do me this service.
Okay, so you can notice there's probably a couple of weird things going on there. If you're really, really clued in and were paying a lot of attention at the beginning, you'll actually notice that the voice is actually slightly different. And from the beginning of the game she was saying, oh, you know, no one can come in here, it needs to be quarantined at all costs to keep the scourge of the beast off. Now all of a sudden she's saying, oh no, this place can be a safe haven, send any survivors that you may find to here, you know, and I'll take care of them. And she also referred to herself in the third person as well, which is, you know, a tad creepy. So that's something to kind of take in, just digest till for later. But now we basically have two places. We have two options to send people to. We can either send them to the chapel, where the little half-man beggar dude is, or we can send them to Yusefka's clinic. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to, because we've now got those two options available, we can go back through the town and basically see about who we can help and where we can send people.
This is a damn.
Yeah, I don't think I could be the PewDiePie of anything, Casey. So yeah, the first person we can speak to is this dude with the chronic bronchitis here.
You needn't concern yourself with me. I'm afraid I'm of little help now. But before I take this, I made no use of it, but perhaps you. What afflicted me was incurable, but this town gave me hope. Their strange blood bought me time. I was most fortunate, unharmed by the plague of beasts. I can even die human.
So there you go, yeah. That guy basically came here under the same pretense as you to try and be cured of an incurable disease he had by their, you know, special old blood, their healing blood. But it's obviously not worked out too great for him. It's just obviously extended his life, just not cured him slightly. But he seems glad that he's at least not going to turn into a beast and, you know, he can die human. And we'll see how that works out for him later as well. I mean, you're going to be noticing a theme about Bloodborne for about 2 so you can probably guess what's going to happen from the hunt. Oh, in fact, where am I going? Oh, in fact, I remember now. We need to go see the old biddy. I've got a problem, no problem now. In fact, to be honest, it's actually just more spaghetti went through here. The soldier generated from killing this guy, it's not really worth it. A little dodging and weaving. Before we jump down to see the old woman, we can actually go see the little girl, because this is one of the previous shortcuts we opened up, and this is where it led out to. So it gives you quite a good idea about how the whole layout of the place is. This is the little girl's place. So what did we decide we were doing again? I forget. Are we giving the little girl the brooch, or are we keeping it for ourselves?
Mr. Hunter. Still can't find my mum.
We're handing it over to her then. Letting her know how just sad and depressing her life's going to be. Both parents lost. Okie doke.
Mr. Hunter, was it really her? Mummy? Mummy? Leave me alone.
And now she just sits there and cries and cries. Well done, stream. Well done. Just gotta kill this dude to get some blood panels out. Oh god, he gives me coins. Coins are pretty much like prism stones, I think they're called in Dark Souls. They're basically just little things you can put in the ground to help you find your way about. So, that's the best way to do it, also, honestly. It's better just to shoot them. So it kind of a little bit of a waste of it, but at least it's not going to spam you to death. Okay, Kat, thanks a lot for staying as you did anyway. Hope you have a good night. And I'll speak to you soon. Again, thanks a lot for getting me started in this and making me actually do it instead of just saying I was going to. So yeah, have a good night. Okay, this old woman, not only is she just doesn't respect her youngers, she's also a druggie, as you'll find out.
So what is it now? Are much better ways to pass the time. Unless you found me a nice safe place.
So, if you followed sort of kind of what I've been doing up until this point, you'll be given two options. MD that gets sent to Yusefka's clinic, you're not going to see them again. Some bad shit's going to happen to them and their kind of quest line just stops dead if you do send them to Yusefka's clinic. Telling them to go to the Odin Chapel means you'll be able to interact with them again. You can sometimes get items from them. And one of the people you send to Odin Chapel is actually really important if you want to go for what you consider the best ending, or the final ending of the game. So we'll basically just be sending everybody to Odin Chapel, except for one person, and I'll explain why once we get to them.
An outsider worth a lick of salt. Don't you have work to do? Go slit some throats. Get this mess done with.
So yeah, the woman's all happy that you've got somewhere to send her, and then she goes immediately back to being a bitch. And right now, where am I going? So we've done the little girl, old lady. We've got the... Okay, right, I know where we're going. In fact, we'll just save some time since I'm lazy. The old hunter's marks in this game basically work the same way as Homeward Bones work. Basically take one of these and go back to the last lantern you were at. It's one of the sort of small nitpicky things you can have with this game. Unfortunately, you can't warp from any lantern to any other lantern. You need to go through the whole hassle of going from the sort of game world back to your hub world here before you can head back out again. It gets kind of tedious sometimes, but it's not a deal breaker. so now we're back here. You can talk to this wee guy, and the old woman should have probably shown up by now.
Thank you. So that old girl, you told her about this place, right? Well, she don't offer me much in the way of conversation, but still, I'd rather see her alive anyhow.
So yeah, we get a little gesture of that dude for sending somebody here. There she's sitting here.
Oh no,
Mother Hubbard.
I haven't forgotten. Do you think I owe you something? Well, that's a fine lark, I'd say. This whole mess that Yarnum's in, it's all your fault. Stupidity outsiders. Our blood's ruined, tainted by your ilk. Don't you come near me. I know your type.
Yeah, so this one was a barrel of laughs.
You. I know.
She's loads of fun. So basically, yeah, she can stay there for the time being. We don't need to deal with her for a while. Come back out and deal with these guys. Oh my god, the reach. Here, just so we don't need to time looking through this area. We don't come through here really all that often, but you can lure this guy down here. And it just makes it... Oh god, I was not expecting that at all. Oh, Jeebus, save me. There we go. Let's lock his ass out so we don't need to go in anymore. And that's the end of him. So yeah, that thing we bought earlier on for the 10,000 souls. It's basically a special key that's the only thing that can open this gate, which makes getting to this boss 10 times quicker. Now one thing to notice about this boss that we've got to come up to is the game, what you could probably technically call the game state. Like you'll notice just now it's kind of like dusk. It's not quite night time yet, it's just like evening. Everything's kind of, you know, getting musky and dark, musky and dark and stuff. After the next boss that'll change and it'll move into like kind of stage 2. Yeah, I think I don't know if I mentioned, I've actually got a very own flamethrower earlier on, but I've never used them before, and it basically uses arcane, which we're not building into, we're just going to pure strength build for the weapon we're after, so it's not really good for PvE anyway, like just playing through the game regular here. Because what you want is basically the pistol. You have the pistol and have the entry level pistol for basically all the game, because all you're really using it for is parrying. There is quite a few bits of diversity in this to be able to use, you know, builds that rely heavily on the pistol damage and things like that, but keeping things simple, we're better off just playing it this way. Okay, this, again, Red Lantern. This chick here is like really important to the storyline, and we can't really go too deep into her lore because a lot is speculation, but she's a hooker, and here we can speak to her just now.
Oh my, what a queer scent. But I'd take it over the stench of blood and beasts any day. What is it then? I'm off during hunts, so if that's what you're here for, I'll leave you to your own devices. If that doesn't do it, come back in the morning, darling.
Yeah, so at this stage in the game she just says, you know, she doesn't see any clients during hunts. She stays indoors where it's safe. But like I said, you'll notice here that it's still kind of evening time. If we come back to Huntspeak when it's fully night time, we'll be able to help her out a bit more. And this guy over here is just a douche. He just doesn't believe a word you're saying.
Well, an outsider who's come to join the hunt. What a pathetic idea. You what? What, you think I'm a beast? Well, maybe I think you're a beast. And step away from our castle.
Again, you can deal with him more once the game world changes, like after this next boss we're coming up to. As you can see, man, the rifle guys are just more an annoyance than an actual threat, to be honest, but they're just getting on the loot. And I think the trousers we have might be better. Slightly. Oh, you asshole. Oh my god, these guys are going to start right here. Oh jeez. That bit can go a ton of different ways. Sometimes those dudes will stay in there and I can just kill everybody and then climb up here easy, but sometimes they just rush you like that. It's about 10 minutes. And this is a little kind of weird note thing. It gives you a bit of insight as to what you're actually trying to do just now. There's a Watchman of Bergenworth, like I said, the people that basically instigated how the world is just now, started all this thing off. Guards the gate with a password, and it's the secret adage. I don't know, an adage is kind of like a creed, a way of thinking, a way of life, you could say. So it's sort of like, you could say it's almost kind of like a religion, or a pact almost. But anyway, off the Grand Cathedral, and the Grand Cathedral is where we've been trying to head the whole time in this first part of the game. So we're obviously going to find what we're looking for in there to be able to go and move forward. Yep, here we go. I'm just better trading those with them, they're just so annoying. And now we're just opening up a bunch of shortcuts, because this area is massive. Yeah, Jess, I do have the DLC and I will be doing some of it tonight. Basically what I agreed to do is kind of like a meme run, and all the items that I put up that I would use, or sorry, all the weapons that I said I was going to use, are actually from the DLC. So what I'm doing just now is unlocking the DLC, so I can jump in there really quick and grab the weapon I need, so I can basically go through the rest of the game with it. It's not ideal. Ideally, what I could do is I would have maybe traded somebody for the weapon, but again, I'm not sure if you can even do that in this game. I don't think you can. It's not like Dark Souls where you can, you know, kind of drop weapons for other people to pick up, if I remember right. But yeah, anyway, that's what we're doing just now. This item here is just completely pointless, but quite funny. You get little hats that you can put in the little skeleton dudes that pop up, so you can kind of cosplay them. The little hats. Semi-risky thing we're going to be doing here before we go back, before we actually get to the boss that we're going to fight, is we can talk to our little favourite hunter here. Oh Jesus, I forgot about food. If you can come over here, that'd be great.
perfect timing. I must warn you not to go near the tomb below Erden Chapel in the Cathedral Ward. Henrik, an old hunter, has gone mad. And he's my mark. Don't go near the tomb below Erden Chapel in the Cathedral Ward. I have business there first.
Alright, so basically she's telling us that there is another old hunter who's gone a bit doolally down where we fought the first hunter, because they were actually friends. And she's basically wanting to go and kill him, but she definitely does not want you to interfere. You know, wink wink. You have to stay out of her business kind of thing. Right, just give me 2 seconds, I think my laptop's acting up. YouTube gaming's just spazzed out on me, I think, so I don't know if that's actually up for anyone else, but I'll just continue on anyway just now. So yeah, basically what Eileen was saying there is, yeah, there's some crazy ass dude that's down in the graveyard, don't go there, I'm going to go there and I'm going to kill him, because that's my job. But you know, she's a grill and she's an old grill, so you get the big strong manly man down to hunt her out. This guy's actually really tough if you try and just go toe to toe with him. So what you're better doing, as you see, it's not really a cheese, it's a genuine strategy this. But you're wanting to basically just poison knife him to death while Eileen keeps him busy. It's the sort of safest way to do it. So hopefully this actually goes to plan. They just ate my shot. Oh my god, the spam. Look at the spam. Oh, the spam was really... Now, I've actually got no idea what that'll do to the questline, because Eileen has shown up and she is fighting him. But, I don't know if I go back down there it'll reset the encounter or not, but... Well, that's never happened to me before, but looks like we're going to find out what happens together. Go back down here. No, I can hear them going at it already. Yeah, Eileen will probably die here, but her quest is important anyway. that, he can't even get his own parries off because he's spamming her with the goddamn pistols. We can help her out a little bit. Oh look, there's Eileen dead. This isn't good. And then he died to poison. Oh god, well that kinda worked out. We'll get a rune that we can use later for him, and rip Eileen. No more hunters for us. Give her a bow. The plus side is, when you get that badge from her that you would normally get if you completed her complete quest line, you can actually get access to all her stuff from the shop back in the Hunter's Dream. So there is that, I suppose. You can get early access to her stuff. She's got those two kind of, I don't know if you would have been able to see the fight very well, but she's got this weapon that goes from being one kind of longer blade and splits into two smaller blades that she dual wields. You can get that weapon now if that's something you're building into.
Welcome. What is... Very well. Let me...
So what we'll do is, we'll start bumping up endurance. Yeah guys, sorry I can't see any of your comments on that you're making just now. For some reason my laptop's just not loading YouTube gaming for me for some reason, so I can't actually see anything that's getting said.
Farewell, good hunter.
But yeah, screw it man, we'll just continue on anyway, see what happens. But anyway, now that we killed that dude, we can actually bling ourselves out and make ourselves look a tad more swag. Looking up here. We might keep the top hat actually, the top hat is pretty cool. Yeah, screw it man, let's keep the top hat. Right, okay, so in preparation for the next boss, what we need to do is... Right, okay, so we're pretty much ready now, I think, to go and actually fight the next boss. And once we've fought this boss, we can then actually get access to the DLC and grab the beast cutter, which is what we're after. Give me 2 seconds guys, I'm going to see if I can open the stream up just on regular YouTube, and then I should be able to view the comments and stuff for there. Okay guys, sorry, that's me back. I can see the chat and that again. Right, so let's see, sorry, what were you saying, Jess? Yeah, you can, Jess. Once you enter the DLC, you'll find a lamp basically straight in front of you, and from that lamp you can teleport back out, And the way you get back in the DLC is up in the Hunter's Dream, where that little fountain was where I was using my insight. There's a gravestone just behind it, and sometimes the doll moves up there and stands up there. You can use that to warp back into the DLC whenever you want. Bane of my existence in the early game. She is a real pain in the ass. But yeah, anyway, we're going to be going up to fight one of the senior members of the Healing Church again. She's actually a vicar. And you know already kind of what happens to the higher up members of the church. Kind of crazy ass beasts they turn into. Yeah, this cutscene as well is actually pretty sweet, kinda gross. Yeah, we're pretty much good to go here, I think. Party on this went well. So this is where the fight oh crap. That's probably going to kill me. Jesus. Rip me. It was going so well as well. I've actually never seen that move before. That's what caught me off guard a little bit. I've never actually died to that before. Again, for how much health and like stamina and that you have at this point in the game, this boss is quite intimidating. Also, you can't parry her the way I was parrying her. You know, I parried the cleric beast. I could shoot him in the head. the only way you can stagger her is by repeatedly just bashing at all her limbs as fast as you can. This is actually a bad spot to be in. You need to really as you can. Holy smokes, that's lucky. Lucky for us, she's never actually used her healing mechanic that she has. When she gets down to about a third health, she gets access to a move where she can back up and pray, and she starts regaining health, which is kind of annoying. But we got there, man, we got there. GG's for me. Right, anyway, time for another bit of heavy lore stuff that's going to go on here. This, as I mentioned earlier on, about how everything was started by the Bergenworth scholars finding the old blood, and then a schism, you know, happening between the two of them, and then breaking off into two factions because they disagreed on how to, you know, move forward with what this discovery they'd found in order to ascend humanity to the next level. Anyway, this sort of basically dictates or shows off the separation into the two groups that they became.
Master Willem, I've come to bid you farewell.
Oh, I know. You think now to betray me.
No, but you will never listen. I tell you, I will not forget our adage.
We are born of the blood, made men by the blood, undone by the blood. Our eyes are yet to open.
Fear the old blood. I must take my leave.
By the gods, fear it, Lawrence.
So, a lot of stuff happened there. That obviously gave you the adage of the old healing church, or the old Bergenworth scholars. Basically their motto, which is fear the old blood. And what you saw there is the dude in the wheelchair remained at Bergenworth. He was the one, his name is Master Willem. He believed that in order to ascend humanity needs to acquire more knowledge, and he wanted to do that through more studying of the blood itself and trying to ascend their own knowledge to the levels of where the blood came from, which is the Great Ones, or the Old Ones. I can't remember what they're called in this. But anyway, that lore goes into crazy, like, H.P. Lovecraftian stuff about people having eyes in the inside of their brain and things like that, like in a literal sense, not just a figurative sense, and it goes pretty deep. But anyway, the reason we did everything there the way we did it is for this item here, which is the item that lets us get into the DLC finally. So by getting that item we can actually now go and get the real item that we needed, but what we're going to do just before we do that is talk to her and spend
Welcome home. What is it?
blood echoes.
Very well, let me...
Do that. Try and get vitality and endurance up to 20 each, and then we'll move strength up a little bit as well.
Farewell, good hunter. May you...
Now I'm going to go grab one or two quick items just before we go into the DLC that will means I'll be able to go farm for some blood chunks and things like that will make me level up my weapon quicker while I'm in the DLC. It'll just make things go a bit smoother. See now that this old woman's starting to have little freakouts at the moment.
How did we ever get into this mess?
Yeah, she starts chasing the dragon pretty soon and popping drugs and stuff like that, so yeah, she actually starts giving you them as well later on, so that's basically her rolling all this nonsense. And while we're in this neck of the woods, I'll go and grab the hooker like we were talking earlier on. She'll be looking for somewhere safe now because it's getting, the night is growing and there is nowhere really safe. She wants to move on. Another thing to notice you might have seen throughout a lot of the places are the empty cribs. Now there's quite a dark theme going on about babies and loads of creepy stuff with that we'll run into later on. Okay, so we're back to see her now.
Oh, thank goodness. You're a hunter, right? Might you know of a safe place? The night is long, and a very little of the incense left. Please, there must be some nice place to run off to.
Listen to how she tries to play you, man. That's a classic Lady of the Night. So yeah, when we're given this choice, we always want to send them to Odin Chapel. If you send them to Yusefka's clinic, just bad shit happens and their quest line ends. So tell her of the chapel.
Thank you, darling. Maybe I'll see you there.
And she gives you a, maybe I'll see you there, wink. Now this dude here is slightly different because he's just a cynical, sceptical asshole.
What, you think this is funny? Well, I certainly don't, so be gone with you. I'll have nothing to do with your beast stunts. What's this two-bit nonsense you're peddling? I heard you told that wench about some shelter. Well, she's a damn fool to trust an outsider. And why? Well, her sort's probably just fixing to feed some of your coin. Alright, what crafty lies does the outsider have today? You think I'm an easy mark? Yeah? Well, give me your best shot.
So now with this guy, because he's such like a cynical asshole, he basically doesn't believe anything you tell him. So if you tell him to go to Odin Chapel, he'll actually go to Yusefka's clinic instead. So we tell him to go to Yusefka's clinic and he actually shows up at the chapel instead. Basically saving his life, because if he goes to Yusefka's clinic then, well, he gets turned into like a mushroom man, I suppose is the only way to put it. So we tell him of the clinic instead.
Yeah, sorry, too sharp for that bollocks. I know a superstition when I hear one. Outsiders, even their lies are predictable.
So now we've sorted those two out. Run past these dudes. And now we're going to make a quick trip into the Forbidden Wood. The Forbidden Wood area is kind of the next main story progression area that you would normally go to, but we just need one quick item I can get in there to make my time in the DLC area just a tad easier. These guys are creepy. These ones are like these other ones that we magic against you. They suck your brains in. And here's our Sunbro friend again. He's kind of got the Slayers about him, but he's just absolutely batshit crazy, which you'll see later on in the game.
Oh, good to see you safe. Now, let's think up something to discuss. Just tell me what piques your interest.
So, yeah, you can talk to him about those sort of things to get a little bit more information on basically what's happening. As I mentioned, there's two separate factions of what was originally the Bergenworth Scholars. So the Healing Church broke off and wanted to use the old blood to minister to people and cure them of all these diseases, whereas the Bergenworth Scholars thought that was a bit dodgy and that they needed to use the knowledge they gained from the blood to ascend humanity rather than using the blood itself. And the Vile Bloods are they're not really pertinent to the main story. They're sort of like an offshoot of the Healing Church, in that they found corrupted blood along with the old blood that's slightly different for story reasons, and they used the corrupted blood to become kind of like vampires, more or less.
I bid you farewell. May the good blood guide your way.
But yeah, this guy's always like, may the good blood guide your way. Got the sort of Slayers about him for Dark Souls 1.
The password.
So you can see this guy's clearly just delirious and gibbering away to himself, asking for the password. But at least we know the password now, don't we? So we found the password there. Plot twist. Absolute plot twist. Yeah, we're only going through the kind of start bit of this area, and it's just literally to grab an item that will make the DLC a bit easier for me to navigate. I mean, a lot of what I'm going to be doing in the DLC is more or less just a suicide run, but there we go. Those guys are getting parrying. At this point in the game you will start to notice that the enemy's parry window is getting a little shorter. I'm going to be a bit more on the ball when hitting them. And these guys are just, again, dogs. You don't realise how, like, if I try and run down there just myself, willy-nilly, the dogs can just gank you so hard. It's unreal. Where's this dog coming from? Yep, there it's there. I did not want to have. Now I'm stuck here. Yep, that's exactly what I did I'm just watching that back here. That was like literally the worst scenario ever. They managed to actually corner me in there and just I couldn't dodge out. Let's try that again. I was going to say, like, the three dogs basically taking the lead from this game, and like the dogs are just so bullshit. It's like they almost teleport and they can just like counter, like, stun lock you almost. This is just so annoying. I mean, the dogs themselves easy to deal with, but when there's multiple enemies to lock onto as well, it just becomes an absolute clusterfuck. I think I'm just going to ignore this area now. Like I lost my souls there, so I can just actually ignore this now. Not my souls, blood echoes. God damn it! I'm gonna get sued if I keep saying souls. down here that I kinda need though. That's what's doing my head in about this. Right, I'm gonna just play this smart and try and pick off the guys. Oh crap, the dog's here up there. Where do the dogs coming from? Oh no, they're not coming from me. Sweet. Right, come on down here. Come on down here, Pooch. Oh my god, the camera's locked off because it's... Oh, Jesus. Oh well, I think I'm going to have to use the old pebble method. I can't even remember if I need the item that's here. I don't even know if I do. I think it's something just like bloodstone shards that I can get elsewhere. Yeah, do you know what? Screw it. I don't actually even think I need the item that's here. I'll just move it for this. The stubborn part of me wants to just keep going at them, but another part of me's just like, yeah, screw them. Yeah, screw them, there's no point. Don't actually need to do any of this crap that's in there. Okay, this little dude that you speak to in this house might be familiar if you've played any Souls game.
Oh, a hunter of beasts, are you? Glory be. You know not the value you possess. But more's the pity. The hours of the night are many, and the beasts more than I can count. A veritable hunt unending. Not even death offers solace, and the blood imbibes you. A most frightful fate. Oh my. But I'm willing to do you a kindness. Step lightly round to the right of the great cathedral and seek an ancient, shrouded church. The gift of the Godhead will grant you strength. Yes, I'm unquestionably certain.
Okay, so yeah, if you've played like any of the Dark Souls games, and I think he's in Demon Souls as well, that is actually Patches. Your good old buddy Patches. We all know how trustworthy he is. That was the item I was after. That I just got from... And basically it's an item that kind of lets you go semi-transparent, semi-invisible. So enemies can only spot you when you're really, really close to them, which allows me to kind of speed run through a lot of parts of the DLC to grab some upgrade materials that I shouldn't have necessarily this early. Just makes everything a bit easier, because this weapon that we're going to get, by the way, I've never actually used it before. I played a little bit this afternoon with it, just to try and see how it is, but I've never attempted any bosses with it or really any of the later parts of the game, so it's always going to be fun. There's no point to do anything about it here. Yep, that's right, Jess, yeah. He's the spider you meet later on in the lecture hall. Basically what he was doing there is he was giving you the tonsil stone, which triggers the amygdala in that little side church to grab you and transport you to the Nightmare Frontier, because he's trying to trap you in the Nightmare Frontier. And then obviously that's why he acts all surprised when he sees you in the lecture hall that you got out. I mean, I don't think I've did it in any of my playthroughs, but when you're in the Nightmare Frontier area, there's actually a place where Patches will knock you down into a hole as well. He'll knock you down into like a poison pit, like he does in all the other games. But if you like complete his quest and you go and actually meet him after he's did that to you, and you forgive him, it gives you a really good rune. So it's kind of worth doing this stuff. You get a really good rune, it like buffs your stamina by 15%. Another one of these creepy dishes. Just get the Zoidbergs written all over them. Yeah, that's the grab to do when they're just in this early stage, but when you meet them later on. I think they actually drain an insight from you as well. So if you get grabbed by them and they do their brain sucking thing, it actually steals one insight from you. This is just another little shortcut area I'm going to be opening up again just to show you that the whole world sort of links together. We'll be coming back here later on for a bit of a quest item for the end of the game. So we don't really need to go into too much in here just now. But yeah, now we're all the way back to the surface clinic right at the very start of the game. So that kind of shows you how it's all connected up. But you remember how Yusefka was acting kind of weird? We don't really want to go and meet her just now because she'll have like a bit of a mental breakdown. And this chap here, this is what happens to anyone you send to Yusefka's clinic. They get turned into little aliens with mushroom heads. And crazy, creepy big hands. So yeah, up that way leads you to where Yusefka actually is. But yeah, we don't want to deal with her right now. I mean, I love how all these places lead back to one another. Whoever was the architect in this area must have been on crack or something. So, remember, as I said, Yusefka was acting kind of strange. When we first met her, she was all nice, and she was saying, everybody needs to stay away, this area's quarantined, we can't have anybody coming here. And then once we came back after beating Gascoigne, she started acting that weird way and telling you to send people to her. Well, the fan theory, and it is pretty much concrete at this point, that this little chap here is actually the original Yusefka that you spoke to at the very beginning of the game, who's been experimented on obviously and turned into a little blue alien. So we can't... And the evidence to support that is when you try and... I've already got one in my inventory, but when the item she drops is Yusefka's blood. So you know that heavily hints at, yeah, that used to be the real Yusefka before this intruder showed up. That was the main item I came to get. This takes us to an optional area where I can farm some upgrade materials as well. But now we're ready to go into the DLC. And hopefully get out unmolested and get the item that we're after. Luckily the weapon we're after is right at the beginning, and there's a couple of items that I can farm that is kind of right at the beginning as well, which will help me level it up. So we should be good to go.
Very well.
Have I got enough for a level up maybe? Nice, I do.
Farewell, good hunter. May you...
What else have I got here that I can get rid of? was holding on to just before she transformed into that crazy beast, and it gives you basically a gem that you can use to upgrade your weapons. It's not an amazing item or anything, so it's not that big a deal. It gives you like an extra 10% damage against beasts. Right, so now we're going into DLC. So yeah, like we're way under level to even consider actually trying to, consider actually doing the DLC at this point. You need to be at least, I would say, about level 80 to continue the DLC. It's almost end game stuff if you're doing like a new game playthrough. Normally I would leave even like going into the DLC till like after I've beat pretty much all but 2 of the last bosses in the game, in the main game. And here's the that showing up. She's quite important to the storyline, as you'll see, and you might want to take a notice of what she's wearing, that particular dress that she's wearing, because that'll come into play soon as well.
You weren't lying. This is a safe place. Thank you. I'm in your debt. I'd like to tender my thanks, but I haven't much to offer. All I can give is my blood. But would you even take a whore's blood? Oh, good. Come close, dear. Don't worry. This isn't the first time.
Yeah, I mean, what could possibly go wrong by taking some whore's blood? That's going to work out brilliant for everyone. As you can see, the old woman here still wigging out.
Oh, the good old days. What are they?
Yeah, she'll chill out soon enough. So yeah, as I said, remember how like ridiculously crazy it was to think about how you get in the DLC? Once you've got that item, this is how you do it. You need to come stand over here, just random, complete random area of the map. Wait for the big hand to grab you and...
Cursed fiends, their children too. And their children forever true.
So what I think we'll do here is we'll get the weapon that I need to get for, and then we'll maybe call it quits in the stream for tonight, and then that'll be us all set up to actually continue and, you know, get all the good stuff done with the main weapon, because it will be kind of fun. I've never used this weapon before, so we'll see how it goes once I actually get my hands on it. So all the weapons they added to this game from the DLC are actually really, really cool. This is one of the best sort of DLCs that I've seen for a game. It's maybe a tiny bit light on the length of it, but even still then, it's still quite long for how much you get and how, you know, the game format is. So this dude's using the weapon we're going to get. Head. That was a mistake. So this is item over there. It's not a big deal that way. We got the weapon over there. Yeah, Jess, I mean, the lore behind why it looks that way is to give us a broad oversight of the DLC. It's called the Hunter's Nightmare because hunters that eventually started to lose their minds and give in to their bloodlust would be pulled in here as punishment for, you know, giving up on what their original cause was. And it resembles Yarnum because whoever created the nightmare, there's people that speculate that it could be Maria, that you'll meet later on in the DLC, because it's her memories of what Yarnum used to look like, so it's kind of like that, but it's all twisted and kind of not quite looking the way it should, because it's, if you imagined yourself trying to picture and re-imagine an area that you've been to before, no matter how good your memory is, it'll always not be, you know, picture perfect. So that's kind of where the premise of this area comes from. Well, we've got the weapon that we came for. All we need to do now is go and get some material. You can see how much damage these guys are doing, even just with their pistols. Kind of flags like, yeah, not supposed to be here just now. Try and get as many of these bloodstone chunks as we can. Now, again, there's a guy in here that could push my shit really hard, so I need to use one of these sort of invisibility things again. Just trying to sneak past everybody with this again. Oh shit, I think that thing's in there. Yep, that's I don't really care about if I die in here now. last thing I can do while I'm in this area is try and open up the shortcut when we come back. And if we could do that, it would be quite good. So it'll make things easier to come back. Or if I just get that. Alright, just need to try and make it across this bridge now without getting absolutely wasted.
More blood!
Right, I think I'm Right, we can deal with this guy's quest when we come back. No point talking to him just now. And this is the shortcut back to the original area. So now you can check out the weapon that we'll be using for the rest of the game. It's pretty sweet. I mean, the main theme of this DLC is, as it's called, it's the old hunters. So these were the original hunters when the workshop that German created was first founded. So a lot of the weapons are kind of primitive looking and kind of old schooly. This one especially is kind of one of the most old school ones. It's basically just a massive cleaver that basically smashes stuff to hell, but it also turns into a kind of whip almost. This weapon is okay, Jess, yeah. If you've played through Bloodborne before and you've maybe used the threaded cane that you get at the very start of the game, it's kind of like that, only where the threaded cane is like really fast and does small bits of damage. This is really strong, but it's really slow. So yeah, that's what we'll be using just now. And I can sort of show off its moveset here. Transform it. The transform attacks use up crazy damage. And that's it in its whip format now. So it's really long reach. Your stamina looks so quick. I'm kinda worried about using this up against some bosses because I don't know how I'm going to try to adjust the strategies. But we never know. So I can go back and I can see how much I can level this up just now from the materials we've got. Right, so I need another 4, then 8, so I need another 12 bloodstone shards. I can just use insight to buy those because, like I said, insight at this point's not really worth anything. And there, Jess, is where I was talking about how you get back into the DLC area. It's this little place here. Right, so we've managed to get it leveled up pretty nicely just now. So we just need to collect some more twin bloodstone shards, which we'll get going through the next couple of areas. And after that we should actually have a couple of bloodstone chunks, so we could be getting it up to about +7, maybe even +8 by the time we finish off the next couple of areas, which are still really low level for where we are. So we could have a bit of an OP weapon on our hands by that point, which should be good. We'll put those gems on. And lastly, I'll use up all these. See if I can squeeze another level of the dog.
Welcome. What is... Very well, let me...
Oh, get 2 levels out, that's nice. Oh, in fact, look at that, I'm literally like 40 blood echoes short. I'll just sell something crap. All CD would never forgive me if I left it at that.
Welcome. What is it? Very well, let...
And again, the OCD means I need to put all the numbers to even numbers that I'm going to be updating, so I'll leave it at that. I can't believe shit like that annoys me so much. It's almost at triggering levels where it's like, no, I need everything to be nice and perfect.
Farewell, good hunter. May you find your worth in the waking world. I think we'll leave it there for today, man.
I think we did quite well. We've got quite a dapper looking chap here. His Morpheus glasses and his big crazy club serrated thing. But yeah, thanks for those who sort of stayed about and watched. I'll probably continue this tomorrow for a couple hours. See if we can get through a majority of the game tomorrow, and then maybe finish it off on Friday if I've got time. Or over the weekend. But yeah, we'll definitely get this run finished by the weekend. But yeah, it's been kind of fun talking about it. I don't know if I would always do this with every kind of, like, if I did any future streams, whether I would just, you know, try and talk about the lore of that, but I'd like to maybe just, you know, pick up the game and fart about in it. Maybe even do some co-op and stuff and just have fun that way, rather than just droning on about the story and the lore. But, hey, I like the sound of my own voice. But, yeah, thanks for coming out again, everybody, and I will catch you all next time.